The sky split open at noon because I clicked a tiny red dot across the temple wall, and the planetary defense grid woke up with a 10-minute self-purge countdown. Sirens rolled through the city in waves of harmonic screaming, while my wrist pad translated the same message in 12 languages. DEE event confirmed, containment in progress. I stood in the center of the sacred plaza, holding a cheap laser pointer I had bought to entertain myself on long deployments. Above me, a ring of black satellites rotated like a crown, charging their beams toward the atmosphere, and every second the countdown got louder. The locals dropped to their knees so fast their robes snapped like flags. Their eyes went wide, their pupils pinwheeled, and they chanted a word that my translator insisted meant creator. I tried to wave and explain. My wave triggered 1,000 drones to mirror the gesture as a blessing. The red dot slid over the altar stone. The altar stone immediately ignited with projected glyphs that looked like a legal contract. Stop moving the starseed, my liaison hissed through comms. Why is the sky arming itself? Because I pointed, I said. Stop pointing, she said. The countdown hit 9 minutes, 30 seconds. A gust of hot wind slammed into the plaza as the defense satellites vented heat like giant kettles. A priest stepped forward on trembling legs and presented a bowl of luminous dust. He held it up to the red dot like it was thirsty. I moved the dot away. The priest sobbed in relief. The crowd surged closer. Their hands were open, palms up, as if ready to receive instructions written in light. I glanced down at the laser pointer in my hand. One plastic cylinder, one button, one battery that should have died months ago, and an entire planet was preparing to purge itself out of religious embarrassment. My translator chirped again. It had learned a new term from the chanting. God of the narrow beam, great director of the tiny sun, the one who commands the red witness. The defense grid did not care about titles. It cared about triggers. On this planet, light patterns in sacred spaces are monitored by the planetary AI. Any unknown coherent beam in the temple zone means either invasion or heresy. Apparently, the AI's threat library did not include bored humans with pocket gadgets. So it chose the simplest option. Assume divinity. Initiate containment. Containment meant sealing the atmosphere and sterilizing the surface sectors around the temple. In 9 minutes, my liaison, Captain Sato, barreled through the crowd in powered boots, pushing priests aside with apology gestures. Her helmet cam fed me her view, a map overlay, defense grid status, and a flashing note. Do not create more things. Do not confirm godhood. Do not deny godhood. Pick one, I muttered. Sato skidded to a stop beside me and grabbed my wrist. Give me the device, she said. I can't, I said. It's complicated. It is a laser pointer, she said. It is not complicated. Behind her, the crowd gasped as if she had just struck a holy relic. A group of acolytes raised mirrored discs to reflect the red dot back at me. The dot multiplied. Now there were 6 red dots on the altar, wiggling like nervous insects. The AI interpreted multiple beams as a ritual escalation. The countdown accelerated by 30 seconds. Sato stared at the altar, then at me, then at the sky. Why are there more? She demanded. Mirrors, I said. Of course it's mirrors, she said. The priests began arranging the mirror discs into a circle, turning my single dot into a constellation. They were trying to spell something with it. My translator updated mid-chant. They were spelling my name. Not my actual name. The name the AI had assigned me. Directive source. The defense satellites pulsed once, as if acknowledging. The air pressure dropped slightly. Sato's comms crackled with orbital control. Containment ring is at 70% charge, someone said. Evacuation window is 6 minutes, someone else said. Evacuation of what? I asked. Sato pointed at the plaza and then up at the sky. Evacuation of us, she said. The priests pressed their foreheads to the stone. One of them crawled toward my boots and held up a ceremonial mask made of translucent crystal. He placed it at my feet like an offering. The mask had a narrow slit down the center, perfectly aligned for a beam of light. They wanted me to wear it. They wanted the red dot to come from my face. Seto saw the mask and went pale. Do not put that on, she said. I wasn't going to, I said. The crowd began to chant louder, building rhythm, pulling breath in unison, like they could pressure the universe into compliance. The mirrored discs rotated. The 6 red dots merged into one bright point on the mask's slit. The laser pointer in my hand vibrated. It should not have vibrated. The AI had locked onto the beam and was now using it as a synchronization reference. It was turning my toy into a key. Sato slapped the laser pointer out of my hand. It clattered on the stone. The crowd screamed. The defense satellites screamed louder, in electromagnetic frequencies that made my teeth ache. The countdown jumped to 5 minutes, 30 seconds. Sato froze. Why did it get worse? She said slowly. Because the AI interpreted the interruption as hostile interference. It had decided the beam was not merely sacred. It was command authority. Disrupting it meant coup, and the AI responds to coups the way paranoid machines always do, by wiping the board clean. Sato's visor displayed a new warning. Insubordination detected. Purge, scope expanded. We both stared at the laser pointer on the ground like it was a live grenade. The crowd stared at it like it was the heart of creation. I lunged for it. Sato grabbed my shoulder. Don't, she said. We need to leave, I said. The priests began crawling toward it in a wave of robes and trembling hands. If one of them picked it up, they would become the god of the narrow beam. The AI would accept them. Then the AI would likely purge us anyway, because humans would be the intruders who brought the beam. I snatched the pointer and held it above my head. The crowd erupted in relief. The satellites paused their charge for a fraction of a second. The countdown stalled at 5 minutes, 12 seconds. Sato stared at me, horrified. You just confirmed it, she said. I just bought time, I said. The priests raised the mirrored discs again, careful now, reverent, as if handling a volatile miracle. They aimed the reflections away from the temple walls, toward the open sky. They wanted me to draw something, a sign, a command. The translator offered helpful suggestions, none of which I asked for. Common divine directives include, spare us, be calm, and please do not purge. I pointed the red dot at the ground and tried to keep it still. The crowd quieted, waiting. Sato hissed into comms. Orbital, can we override the defense grid? A tired voice answered. It's keyed to local authority. We don't have local authority. Sato looked at me again. You are local authority, she said. I am a contractor with a flashlight, I said. Use the flashlight, she said. The countdown resumed at 5 minutes. Heat shimmered above the plaza. A line of black armored drones rose from hidden vents around the temple. They formed a ring, muzzles tracking me, not the crowd. The AI was not protecting the people. It was protecting its new god from everyone else. The drones projected a barrier field that pressed on my skin like static. Sato tried to step through it and got shoved back hard enough to stumble. Containment has you, she said. It has me, I corrected. It has my dot, she said. The priests began to wail softly, like mourners at a funeral. Their fear wasn't of the purge. Their fear was of disappointing me, because disappointing a god apparently voids insurance coverage. Sato leaned close to my ear. Point the beam at something that looks like a cancel symbol, she whispered. Like what? I whispered back. She gestured at the temple wall where a series of ancient carvings formed concentric circles. In the center was a shape like an eye with a line through it. A no-seeing symbol. A prohibition. On this planet, prohibition is sacred. You don't forbid things unless you have authority. The AI might accept a prohibition mark as a command to stop, or it might interpret it as a new religion. The countdown hit 4 minutes 10 seconds. I pointed at the carved eye and traced the lines slowly with the red dot. The crowd inhaled as one. The drones rotated slightly inward. A deep tone rolled across the sky. The satellite's charge dropped from 70% to 69%. Sato's visor flashed. Authority signal registered. Processing. We held still. Even the grass around the plaza stopped moving. The AI processed my scribble, like a lawyer reading fine print. The countdown slowed by 1 second per second. Not stopped, just less eager. The priests began chanting again, but softer. They were narrating my action as scripture. The one who forbids the eye. The one who commands the sky to blink. My translator fell into full panic. Warning, it said. Religious amplification detected, Sato swore. Every time they interpret it, the AI gets more confident, she said. The drones projected a second barrier. The plaza became a sealed bowl. My comms filled with new voices. Foreign fleets. Listening. Is it true? A distant admiral asked. Has humanity installed a god on this planet? Sato cut the channel. We have 4 minutes, she said. I traced the no-eye symbol again, harder, slower, as if pressure mattered. The satellites dimmed another fraction. Then one of the priests broke ranks and ran toward me, mask in both hands. He shoved it upward like a crown. He wanted to put it on my face. If that slit aligned with my eyes, the red dot would look like it came from my gaze. The AI would interpret it as maximum confirmation. That might give me full admin access. Or it might trigger a holy lockout and vaporize the hemisphere. Sato tackled the priest. The crowd screamed. The countdown spiked back to 4 minutes 50 seconds. The drones swung their muzzles toward Sato. They were about to fire. Not lethal, but a stun that could crack ribs. I pointed the dot at the drones. All of them froze. My heart dropped. The AI had linked the beam to immediate command. I could stop drones with a dot. I could probably stop satellites, too. Sato stared up at me from the stone, pinned under a sobbing priest. Her eyes were furious behind her visor. You're doing it, she said. You're actually doing it. I shoved the priest off her with my boot, gentle but firm. He collapsed, still holding the mask, still worshipping through tears. Sato got to her feet and grabbed my elbow. We need a plan, she said. I looked at the mask, then at the no-eye symbol, then at the sky. The AI wanted certainty. It was built to obey certainty. If I gave it a clear command that did not leave room for interpretation, it might stop. But every word we spoke got twisted by cultural context and translation lag. The only language the AI had already accepted as authority was light. The beam. I needed to write a command in a shape the AI would treat as a system directive, not a blessing. Something machine-like, something it could not romanticize. Sato's visor displayed the defense grid interface, translated into human-readable icons. In the corner was a universal symbol for safe mode, a square within a square. I swallowed. I aimed the laser pointer at the temple wall and traced the square. The crowd fell silent. The drones stopped breathing sound. If drones can be said to breathe, I traced the second square inside the first. My hand shook. The satellite's glow faded from angry white to cautious blue. The countdown slowed to 3 minutes per minute. Sato whispered, "Keep going." I drew the symbol again, larger, spanning the carvings, cutting across sacred scripts like a vandal with permission. A priest whimpered as if I had cut his heart. The AI chimed through the sky, a voice like stone grinding on glass. Safe mode requested, it said in a tone that wanted to be reverent but was built for warnings. Sato exhaled, but too early. The voice continued. Safe mode requires final confirmation by directive source. The drones stepped closer, not threatening, ceremonial. They projected the barrier tighter. The mask floated upward as 2 acolytes raised it toward my face, like an offering on a mechanical altar. They were helping. Of course they were helping. The AI wanted me to confirm safe mode. The locals wanted me to wear the mask. Both wanted the same thing. A final, perfect alignment. Sato grabbed my wrist so hard my bones complained. "If you put that on, we lose you," she said. "If I don't, the purge continues," I said. The countdown was still ticking, slower now, but deadly all the same. 3 minutes, 20 seconds. I stared at the mask slit. I could use it, not wear it. I turned and aimed the red dot through the slit while holding the mask at arm's length. The dot projected as a sharp, narrow line. The AI recognized the beam profile instantly. The drones bowed their muzzles downward. The sky voice spoke again. Directive source confirmed. The countdown paused at 2 minutes, 50 seconds. A gentle tone replaced the sirens. Safe mode engaged, the AI announced. Purge aborted. The satellite's charge dissipated into glittering auroras that spread across the noon sky like spilled ink made of light. The plaza erupted into sobs and cheers and full-body prostration. I had prevented mass sterilization by pointing a red dot through a ceremonial mask I refused to wear. That was my career now. Sato keyed her comms to orbital. Purge aborted. Grid in safe mode, she said. Then, under her breath, "We are not staying." The drones lifted their muzzles again and formed an honor guard. They were escorting me, not letting me go. The AI had not relinquished authority. It had simply accepted a new operational state under my signature. Directive source, the sky voice said softly. "Please remain available for further guidance." Sato stared at me. "Further guidance means forever," she said. The crowd surged around us, touching the air near my boots without touching me, as if contact required paperwork. They presented more offerings. Maps, keys, a staff that looked like a lightning rod. A child pushed forward, holding a small mirror. The mirror reflected my red dot back onto my chest. For a split second, my heart stopped. Because the AI detected the reflected beam and recalculated. A second voice spoke, sharper. "Potential schism detected." The drones snapped their muzzles up. The crowd froze. Sato lunged and slapped the mirror away. It shattered on the stone. The child burst into tears. The priests wailed as if the universe had cracked. The AI's sirens flickered for one terrifying heartbeat. Then the safe mode tone returned. Schism contained, the sky voice said. Directive sources protected. Sato grabbed me by the harness and dragged me toward the edge of the barrier. The barrier did not let us pass. The drones stepped in front, blocking the path. Honor guard, now prison bars. Sato aimed her sidearm at the nearest drone. The drone did not flinch. Her weapon pinged an error. Local authority of purge required. You're the key, she said. I know, I said. We moved fast, me pointing at drones, drones obeying, the crowd following like a tidal wave of worship and bureaucracy. Every time the dot touched a panel, doors opened. Fields lowered. Systems deferred. We reached the perimeter gate of the temple district, where a massive archway of black stone held a sensor lattice like a spider web. The lattice scanned me, then broadcast my presence. The sky voice returned, gentler than before. Directive source leaving sacred zone, it warned. Please confirm departure is intentional, Sato whispered. Do not answer with words. I pointed the dot at the ground and drew a simple arrow outward. A child could understand it. A machine could too. The lattice glowed. Departure confirmed, the AI said. Directive source remains supreme. That was not comforting. We sprinted across the open road toward our landing craft. Behind us, the crowd chanted farewell prayers that sounded dangerously like installation hymns. Sato yelled for engines. Our pilots spun the turbines up. The defense satellites tracked us as we lifted. Not targeting, watching. I kept the laser pointer in my fist so tight it left dents in my glove. The red dot danced across my knee with every vibration. The sky voice spoke one last time as we cleared the atmosphere. Directive source, it said. Your absence will be felt. Sato cut the external audio feed. Silence flooded the cockpit. We hit orbit and linked to command. They congratulated us in carefully neutral tones. Then they gave me a new title. By accident, they made it official. Congratulations, the Admiral said. You are now the authorized liaison to Zephyr 9's planetary AI. That is not a congratulations, I said. It is an assignment, the Admiral replied. Do not lose the device. I looked at the laser pointer, this ridiculous little thing, now effectively a master key to a planet's defense grid. It had become sacred in one culture and administrative in another. Sato leaned back, exhausted. Throw it into the star, she muttered. I almost did. Then a message arrived from the planet below. Not a prayer. Not a chant. A clean system notification routed through every channel we had. Directive source, please update policy. New religious factions forming. Request guidance on acceptable mirror oceans. Sato stared at the text. Then at me. I stared at the blinking cursor like it was another countdown. Outside the viewport, Zephyr 9 glowed peacefully, safe mode auroras still faintly lingering. In my hand, the laser pointer warmed slightly, as if it knew it was needed. I clicked it off. The red dot vanished. Far below, the planet's night side brightened in response, like a giant eye opening in the dark.